Greetings from Pediatrics Academy of Telangana State. We welcome to his Perfect Pediatrician webinar, a 12-session series, which is going to start from today onwards. A kick start from today and a platform for sharing best practices across 12 dimensions of life, empowering each of us to become the best version of ourselves. You know very well, the pediatrician is a...
Sir, mute this one. Sir.
Yes.
Echo
వస్తుంది.
your voice is echoing, sir. Just to correct it, sir, your voice is echoing.
Mute all again.
Sir, speaker, sir. ఒకసారి సార్
ఎవరిని?
ఇప్పుడు బాగుంది సార్. ఓకే, రైట్.
మీ సౌండ్ is coming. శ్రీధర్ గారు. మీ సౌండ్.
Sir, I think speaker sir మీదే sir.
Now it's okay.
Yeah, one second. One second. I'm just changing the settings so that only co-hosts and hosts can unmute and speak. Okay, and I'll give Pawan the host, chef the host to him. Then it will be easy. Yes, we're all good now. Whoever is the host, request you to please unmute and then speak.
Yeah.
Pawan, please control settings. Over to you.
Thank you, RSV. I got it. Thank you. Yeah.
Can I start
sir,
now?
Sir, let's start. Yes, sir. Perfect, sir. Restart, sir. Restart. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Very good morning, and respected all the pediatricians who had today come to this webinar. Greetings from Pediatric Academy of Telangana State. We, from the President's view, wants us to do a good thing for the practicing pediatricians to make them so perfect. So this is his dream project where he had gone through. We welcome you all for this Perfect Pediatrician, a 12 series sessions and a platform of sharing best practices across 12 dimensions of life, empowering each of us to become the best version of ourselves. So you know very well, the pediatricians are very much gentle hands for tiny hearts. So they should be, basic thing is to communicate well, honest, and a great deal of compassion should be there for a pediatrician to become a perfect pediatrician. So many qualities of pediatricians are there to become a perfect pediatricians. We can, from our lectures and from our the two eminent, the moderator and speaker, you know very well how tops are there. The Dr. Pramod Jog sir and Dr. Ramya. They will definitely throw a good light for us in the morning of the Sunday, where we can relax more and listen to them and become a good practicing pediatrician and also perfect pediatricians. So let me hand over. All the best, Pavan, our coordinator, and also lead coordinator, Dr. Ravikumar sir. Welcome to this webinar. And you know very well how Pavan is much interested in these type of general events to make. Not only this, he is also very strong in finance, to make the pediatricians in perfect finance capabilities also. So now, since we are dedicated to do all the pediatricians to become a perfect pediatricians, our faculty who welcome to the Pramod Jog sir and Ramya ma'am. So they will throw much light on this. Let me hand over to the Dr. Vijay Kumar sir to proceed the function, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Good morning, all. My pranams to my gurus here, Dr. Ravikumar sir, the program lead, Dr. Sanjay sir, and I am very much there are many students of Ravikumar sir I am seeing in the list, and I am also very delighted to see Jalil Ahmed sir, Rashmi madam, and others from PATS. So this program, as Secretary sir said, this will go into 12. If depending on the response, we may increase also. Once Pawan and RSV has said this to me, I have contacted multiple seniors. Today in the morning, it was very encouraging talk, especially with Sanjay sir, Dr. Chakradhari sir, Dr. K. Ramesh Reddy, YV Rao sir, Dr. So many people I have contacted, Dr. Anupama, Ramya, of course, she's a speaker today. Pallavi, I have contacted, and then let us have a program wherein along with pediatric, IAP is also trying. In conferences, major conferences, we see that there is a sports component. There is also a cultural component. There are other things. People, there is a not parallel thought. There is a thought that along with academics, the stressful life and the modern life, we need more than this. So, keeping all this in view, roping in subject experts in the 12 dimensions is the idea of the program. Most probably we'll have this every first Sunday of every month. And again, I'm saying, seeing the response. One new thing, not new, one thing that we plan is that there is a WhatsApp group created for this Perfect Pediatrician. And in that, all of you can join with your this thing. And then the next program, today's program, I'll say a bit later. And from now on, from the second program, the topic and speakers would be announced few weeks before, 1 or 2 weeks before at least. Your questions, not suggestions, the questions, they are welcome into the WhatsApp group and into the email of the PATS office. The Pediatric Academy of Telangana State email you can do, or into the WhatsApp group, you can pose your questions. And these questions will be conveyed to the speakers, and so that the interaction, whatever will happen, would be useful to all of us. Saying this, I request the program lead, Dr. Ravi Kumar sir, to give his thoughts and start the program. Let me not say it is an inaugural program or that. And then I profusely thank Ravi Kumar sir for accepting to guide us on this as a program lead. I'm already seeing many students waiting for sir to talk on this. Sir, Ravi Kumar sir.
Sir, before that, 1 second, sir. Let me before handovering the things to Ravi Kumar sir. Let me invite Arakala Bhaskar sir, the Vice President Central Zone, to say few words.
Carry on. Yes.
Let me go for the things, sir. As SOP of the
correct.
CIP. Sir, Bhaskar sir, Arakala Bhaskar garu, please. Is not there.
Sir, our honorary General Secretary Dynamic, Dr. Sridhar, and ever active Vice President Pavan Kumar. It is a very thrilling experience to participate in this as a delegate. I know Pavan very well in close quarters. He is a man of surprises, and he is innovative and very creative also. So that I must congratulate not only the Pavan but also the President Secretary for conceiving this module. And this 12 dimensions of wellness of life. It is a long back concept dating back to 1970s. It is a lifelong struggle to become a perfect human being. Not only human being, we are first the human beings, then the pediatricians, so that to lead us and support a vibrant and fulfilling, satisfying quality of life, to avoid burnouts in our professional career, to have good relations with ourselves, with our family, with the society. So this workshops or modules like this will go in a long way to have a fulfill our aim of becoming a perfect human being and also a human pediatrician. Nobody can become a perfect 100%, but we should strive to become a near perfect human being. So I am waiting to participate and wait to in all the 12 sessions. And once again, my congratulations to the PATS team for conceiving this module. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Let me invite KV Rao sir, our Central IP EB member 2076, to say a few words. KV Rao garu, please unmute yourself and speak. So I think KV Rao sir is not there. Now, let me invite Dr. Ravi Kumar sir, the lead of the today's program. Please, sir, go ahead, sir, and you can hand over after your talk. You can
Lakshman
hand over to Pavan and
to Lakshman unnaru.
Less, sir. Sir, please.
Okay.
We'll go accordingly. Okay.
Pranamam to everyone, to all the PATS-IAP members and all the IAP members, my humble pranamams. This is a novel academic program. Health is fundamentally multidimensional, whether it was in the past, now in the present, and it will be in future also. In previous generations, these multiple aspects of health were integral in cultural practices of an individual, family, and society. But with the modern way of living, these cultural healthy practices have declined, and this has led to new patterns of disease in the society with new prevalence of diseases. Globally, due to that, there is a renewed interest in understanding the multifactorial nature of the health. Various research institutions like Stanford, Harvard, they have started research in this direction and are actively examining various influences on the well-being. They are identifying both beneficial and adverse health practices, and they are presenting them as emerging dimensions of health. The pristine, traditional, and healthy living ways of certain populations are being rechristened and offered under different terminologies. When a health factor is not part of the traditional way of life of a society, it needs to be rediscovered, developed, and offered with scientific rigor. When a health factor is under vogue as a cultural practice, it is difficult to appreciate as a scientific wisdom until it is substantiated through the research. Then only it becomes a scientific practice. Those healthy cultural dimensions of living that fell into oblivion now must pass through once again through conceptual frameworks and scientific validation. Around the world, groups of academic institutions and entrepreneurs are reviving forgotten practices and positioning them as new dimensions of health, though some still lack sufficient validation. New dimensions of health must be useful. That means they must have appropriate relevance, adequate validity with less amount of work. The health rediscoveries that emanate from exotic lands rather than native land command greater awe. The evidence established for many is epidemiological so far, and some is still in the level of conceptual framework. The goal is to offer people holistic health, as health is dynamic and resilient. The multiple dimensions of the health, they interact synergistically, and some dimensions may not interact as we desire. With increasing longevity, optimizing quality of life, and health have become primary goals of human beings. In response to all this, the PATS-IAP have evolved this new program of learning. I once again thank everyone. Thank you all very much.
Dr. Pavan?
Yeah.
You please go ahead.
Thank you, sir.
You please introduce yourself, you talk on the topic, and introduce Pramod Jog sir and moderator Ramya and everything, and start the program. Pavan, all the best.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir. Welcome all for this wonderful journey of transformation together in the field of 12 dimensions of human life. We as pediatricians, we are very much, we are experts in the pediatrics field. But when it comes to other dimensions of life, we really have to look how far we are excellent in that profession. Like in our profession, how we are in the faring well or not in the other dimensions of life. Most studies says that the people who are getting burnout in the profession and their other dimensions are really getting, diminished. So with that motto, we have started this, the Perfect Pediatrician. So who can really, once it comes to awareness that where we stand today, and then there's a scope for improvement. So with that idea, we have started this wonderful initiative under the leadership of Dr. Vijay Kumar sir, our president. And it's a great honor for me, Dr. K. Ravikumar sir, who was my teacher in Warangal. He is
Dr. Pavan, you are not audible. Dr. Pavan, you are not audible. Dr. Pavan.
Yes, he seems to have left the meeting. So probably a poor connection.
Yeah. Shall we ask
Pramod? Yeah. So until Dr. Pavan is able to join, let me just, sir, I just need a minute.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, some of the settings have to be just stayed. Yes. So just continuing from my good friend Dr. Pavan, who has introduced the concept. Now we move on very quickly on to the core concept and the session today on relationships. And it's a pleasure for IAP Telangana State to welcome Dr. Pramod Jog sir, past president of Indian Academy of Pediatrics. And he has been a living example of how to maintain relationships, how to continue our relation amidst all the busy life and the schedules that we have. And it is not a lecture. It is not going to be anything boring and at least expected from Dr. Pramod sir. And it is going to be a conversation with our moderator, Dr. Ramya, who is a lifestyle coach and a proud member of the PATS family. I'll now hand it over to Dr. Ramya and Dr. Pramod Jog to take us through a wonderful journey of relationships, something that will enrich us as a person beyond just being a clinician. Over to you, Dr. Ramya and Dr. Pramod, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that intro. Good morning to one and all. It gives me immense pleasure to be the first moderator of this best practices session. I wholeheartedly thank the organizers for entrusting me with this opportunity. I welcome Pramod, sir.
Good morning.
We're very happy to have you here, sir. A word to start the day with.
Thank you. Thank you.
We shall be talking about the importance of social connections, the magic of relationships as it has been rightly coined. We know that the previous generations were all well connected, and that seems to be a little bit missing for these days. The youngsters are not getting an opportunity to connect better, like how we would, or our parents and grandparents, they used to connect. I would like to just share a small incident that happens usually in the morning. The milkman who comes is an elderly person. He will drop the milk in the, he will ring the bell. He will wait for me to open the door. He greets me and then leaves. But at times when his son comes, he just rings the bell, leaves the milk on the counter and goes, not bothered if they are there at home or not. So this is what happens. Those small connections that we make, it could be greeting anybody, our watchmen, our maids, or all that is missing because most of the times people are probably in the phones, or definitely one of the things that we can be coining to. And then social connections, I would like to say, is definitely one of the most important. I'm sorry. Social connections is one of the most important pillar of lifestyle medicine. The single most important pillar, that is what the Harvard University also says. If we were to ask people who have lived a very long life, what is one thing that made the difference? Is it their nutrition? Is it their workout? definitely they would say that it is the magic of relations, how they have connected with their family, friends, the people in the neighborhood. So this is definitely going to be there. And I would say politicians are the best example for this. One among us is Dr. Ram Narasimha Reddy sir, whom we look up. He's our mentor at Chelmada. Sir looks young always because the way he connects with students, with peers and all is so beautiful. Before we go to the talk as such, I would like to start this session with a small story. We all would have heard of it. We all would have heard of this story. There was a father who once assigned a job to both his sons. He said he wants to have a house in every city that he visits. And then what happened was both the sons are industrious, they are very hardworking, intelligent, and ultimately well, he has given them a duration of 1 year to take up this job, to finish this task at hand. And at the end of 1 year, what happens? Will just ask, the father asks the sons, "What has happened to the task that I have given?" And the second son replies immediately, "I have expanded our business in almost every city, and I bought a house in each of the city. You need not worry. Wherever you want to go, you can go stay in that house." And the elder son says, "I have also expanded the business, but I didn't buy a house. I made friends in every city. So wherever you want to go, my friends are there. They're going to take very good care of you." And the father is really happy to hear what the first son says, because he has made friends. He's made friends with many people. That is what is more important rather than buying a house, because when the father is not staying there, maintaining that house would become very difficult. On the other hand, if the friend is there, definitely they're going to take better care of the father whenever he arrives. With this, I would like to start today's talk show. It's going to be more of a talk show than anything. We welcome you, sir. Pramod, sir.
Yes,
Sir. So, to start with, what do social connections mean to you personally?
See, first I must congratulate PATS for taking up this particular theme for the entire year. The doctors deal with high stress and the long hours of work and life and death situations and, of course, emotional loss. And, the strong relationships, particularly with the family, with the friends and their peers, usually will reduce the burnout. We see so many doctors, up to the age of 40 or 50, they are very enthusiastic. Later on, there is something called as burnout. They develop anxiety and depression. And this social interaction, okay, suppose if I participate in today's webinar, this is a kind of social interaction. So it reminds me that I am little more than a pediatrician. I am something more. So that is very important. This is number one. So social interaction is a glue, the one that binds, two people together. And it's very important that I look into the eye of the person in front, listen to him, and try to understand as to what is there in his mind so that I interact. This requires, of course, some time. And patient care is also better. For example, when you communicate with more empathy, the patient also feels better. It is said that listening is the first step towards empathy. Okay, so you have to listen. So when you nod the head, when you look into the eye, the patient also feels better. And then it shows greater patience and also a bit of compassion. Okay, so that is number one. Number two is the professional collaboration and the growth. So the relationship with the colleagues and the nurses and the other healthcare staff is also very, very important. The sharing of the knowledge and, making better clinical decisions, it also improves with that. And when you get connected with people, with social interaction, basically you have the real life values. You understand what is going on in the mind of the person in front. And, it avoids doctors getting emotionally detached. We have seen so many doctors, as the age advances, as if that there is a Broca's area in the brain, area number 44 on the left side. And I've seen so many times, doctors, they start speaking less and less. I know one of my cardiologist friends, he only speaks, the child is unwell, my father is unwell, He doesn't say anything beyond who, as if Fevicol has been applied to the bottom of the tongue. He doesn't speak. You know, I asked one of my friends why this cardiologist, speaks like this. He says, cardiologists have a different way of handling patients. They will mutter something like, at the end, they will utter only two important words, myocardial infarction. Okay, so when somebody says myocardial infarction, the patient in front suddenly, is frightened. Of course, that's their way of dealing with patients. What I'm trying to say is, we should not behave as if, Fevicol has been applied to the bottom of the tongue. The Broca's area is given by the God to speak more, to interact more. Okay, and that's why when you speak to some person, basically it avoids getting emotionally detached, and this happens in practice many times. We feel bored and we stop interacting, and of course, the doctors can easily, lose themselves in their careers. And when you interact, it preserves a sense of identity beyond the doctor. Okay, and it prevents the emotional exhaustion. So there are many things which are related to what you would say this social interaction. And as I said, it is very important that it's a part of the multi-dimensional personality of a doctor. Already, Dr. Pawan has told that there are different dimensions, and I would say just as one needs food and water and oxygen, you know, the short form of food, water, and oxygen, it involves three alphabets: F, W, and O. So you have to add love and emotional relations and make it FLOWER. That is the flower. Okay. So if you want to convert your life into a flower by adding those relations, then it's very important that in addition to the food, water, and oxygen, you have a very, very good social interaction. So that, as you earlier said, that Harvard study, which shows that the longevity will increase and the person will remain happy all throughout the life. And the number of the relations, the quality of the relations is extremely important in this sense. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Like for the children look at the eye contact. It's equally important that we as doctors also make that eye contact so that the listener feels more better about it.
Sure, sure.
So one social connection which you feel has changed your life or the way you look at life.
Oh, there are so many, social connections which have changed my life. I will tell you, I had a teacher, Dr. Ajay Joshi. He is unfortunately no more. And at his place, we used to meet every fortnight, okay, on the Thursday at night. And we used to call it as Bhajani Mandal, maybe something like a satsang and all, And then these were the moments with our mentor. He was our mentor, like a charismatic personality, okay? And this charismatic personality, in front of him, 15 of us, all the pediatricians roughly of the same age, maybe +5, -5 years. And we always used to discuss not only medicines, not only the articles from Lancet and DMJ and NEJM, but also certain things related to the life, personal life, the share market, the sports, the hobbies, and so on and so forth. And that was a moment, maybe, moments twice in a month, every 15 days, that really, kept my academic career going, because these relations, they are a boost. They are a boost for your practice. They are a boost for the practice. What happened was, there was one pediatrician who, participated in this meeting, but he never attended Pedicon, never came for conferences, and he remained isolated. Okay. I always used to tell him, my dear, please come for the conferences. He said, no, no, no. I can read much more than what you do in those 3, 4 days. I said, I understand that you can study much better at home by not going to the Pedicon and studying at home. But you come there, socialize, make friends, that he says, Pramod, I should have listened to you. I have heard so many of our senior pediatricians who said, that their mentors made their life. And I will tell you, if you remain alone, you are like a sugar. Sugar always gives us empty calories, empty calories. Nothing else except calories. But jaggery has so many other things. It has iron in that. It has so many other things which come when the, final product sugar is very, very refined. But, like jaggery gives you something extra than sugar. Both are sweet. But, these social interactions are like jaggery. And I will tell you, this is extremely important to remember that even the social connect with the parents in our practice is important. For example, I will tell you, there was, a child who came to me for failure to thrive. He was not growing well. And after discussion with the, parents, I came to know that there was parents' social isolation. And that was the reason for his failure to thrive. So there are some social determinants of health also. So there are so many aspects, Ramya, to this particular story. And that's why I would say that, there are many, many moments in my life where social interaction has really helped me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So that again highlights the importance of attending the conferences. Much more than academics, it's the friends that we meet, the bonds that we make, and we look forward again to meet them. Having said so, sir, in today's world, do you think we are more connected with each other or feeling more lonely about it?
See, I think the paradox of the modern world is that we are digitally hyper connected, but often socially isolated. Socially isolated. The adolescents and the young adults, they are currently the ones who report the highest rates of loneliness. There is a lot of richness in the face-to-face interaction, and potentially it replaces so many things. It replaces the superficialness of the social media. Face-to-face contact is having a lot of richness, but there is a rising trend of isolation. There is a saying in English which says top is always vacant. But remember, top is not only vacant. You can go to the top, but you have to remember the top is lonely, and you have to avoid this problem. Many of us go to the top, and they say, no, top is always vacant. I am at the top. But my dear, you are at the top, but you are lonely. Okay. And remember, half of the healthcare workers today are reported to be suffering from loneliness. Loneliness. We go to the rounds, we discuss with our residents and nurses and so many others. That is not interaction. Interaction is beyond the rounds that we take in the hospital. It is, in the canteen when you take a cup of coffee, or when you go to your chutneys in Hyderabad and have, appam vada or whatever it is. But then, that interaction is very important. It should not be a momentary one. It should be of a good quality. But remember, the most important thing is that as compared to the earlier years, because of the social media and so many other factors and the rapidity of the life, probably we have become more lonely. That is what I would say to your question. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Rightly, as you said, the coffee thing, what you're saying, I remember my own professor, Dr. Ray, surgery professor, he used to make it a point every day after the rounds, he used to take us all for a cup of coffee. And when I said, sir, I don't drink coffee, he was like, it's an order, you have to drink. So that is how we still remember him.
Yes.
We shall now move on, sir, to the next aspect of everyday social connections. You've already told the importance of friendships through conferences and things, but how important are friendships compared to family connections in adulthood?
Oh, that's important. See, we can have social interaction with the friends as well as with the family. Both are vital, very, very important. You must have connect with the children, with the wife, with parents, grandparents, and all the relatives. No doubt about it. And also the friends. Remember, friendships are voluntary, isn't it? And they're chosen. I choose my friend. I cannot choose my parents. I can choose my, friends. I always say that the word friend, has different alphabets, FRIEND. And when you select a friend for a good social interaction, he should be frank, he should be rational, he should be intelligent. Okay, he could be of either sex, and he should be a non-doctor friend. Interaction with non-doctor friends is always better. Recently, there was a milkman who has been added to our morning walkers group. This milkman recently told me as to how to improve the quantity of the milk by adding water without disturbing the quality of the milk. So there was something which I learned from him. So many things we learn from our income tax, officials, the people working in the bank sector, and so many others. So what I'm trying to tell you is that you learn a lot from the non-doctor friends also. Anyway, so answering your question about friends and the family, I would say that you have to choose the friends. And very important is that in the older age, now those of us who are above 60, 65, 70, 75, remember friendship is more important than the family at that age, because it is said that good friendship reduces the mortality risk by almost 20 to 22%. That is what I read recently. So remember that if you are older, have more amount of friends, and those who have some problems with the relations with the spouse, they will many times get the answers from your friends. Okay, the stress will be reduced. When I speak to my friend, I get the answers. I ask him, my dear, this is the problem. So the stress is relieved, and this is something like a buffer, So it buffers the impact. The stress is reduced. And one more thing is that family, of course, is always there in the times of crisis, and that's why you have to be with the family. But to have a bit of lighter life, lighter moments, and positive affect associated with friends is also equally important. So I just told you the relative place of friends and the family in social interactions. Thank you.
True, sir. Thank you, sir. That is like really important. So to have a friendship along with taking care of the family, they will guide us better. Maybe in the time of crisis or whatever, we can go to them. They will help, lend a helping ear. That itself at times is more important than anything. Maybe we may not get solutions as such, but somebody to listen to us.
Right.
Yes, sir. So why do these get harder as they age? As the person ages, gets older, why do social connections become a little hard to maintain?
See, what happens is, now let us see. Suppose I was in the school and there were some 50 classmates in my school. Now, as I grew up and after 50 years, we suppose meet. What happens is that the perspective changes, the priorities change. As adults, the work, the marriage, all those factors will consume our time and energy, okay, which was earlier dedicated for socializing. For example, I used to devote a lot of time with the friends when I was in the college, but now I don't have that much time. And I start becoming selective. Okay, I start becoming selective. I will select only pediatricians. I will select only, the friends who have the same IQ level as me. Okay, so that selectivity comes up. And sometimes, of course, when I was young and in the school and in the college, I used to go on my, two-wheeler to the house of the friend. Now the distances are, so long that I simply cannot go because of the traffic and so many other things. So there are many reasons as to, when you grow older, the physical contact or the face-to-face contact starts becoming a little bit of a challenge. And as you can see, basically, there are certain brain changes. There are some researches which indicate that the neural networks involved in the socialization, they weaken, okay, with age. And many times, social interactions, they feel more draining. If some of you can agree with me, if someone tells you, oh, at 5 o'clock you come for this meeting, at 6 o'clock you go there, at 7 you go there, at 8 o'clock you go for a marriage, you will feel as if, no, 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 that's enough. So, one mentally feels drained out, isn't it? So, the social connections, as you rightly said, they become harder to maintain as we get older. Thank you.
Okay, sir. So That way, probably the friends around nearby who are living, maybe they could meet them more often. That would help a
Yeah,
little bit.
sure,
Yes, sir.
sure.
Like we've said, we get to meet a lot of people. It could be some of them will remain as acquaintances and some become really close friends, sir.
Yes.
So, which is more important, to have a few close friends or making a lot of acquaintances?
Yes, yes, this is very important. I will tell you, for long-term health and well-being, quality consistently wins over the quantity. Very important. It's important to maintain conversations and emotional support, as I told you, with the meetings which we had regularly. You know, these conversations are a robust emotional support. Now, the place where I see stay, that is Club Ashiana. That's not a big club, only 4 families. But quality wise, these are all very, very nice people with whom we keep meeting on the days of, Sankranti, Holi, Diwali, year end. We meet 4 or 5 times in a year. But it keeps us going. And remember that loneliness, as we discussed earlier, is less about the number of the friends, but more about the quality of those connections. Quality. Many superficial acquaintances, they do not, mean that you are socially well connected. In Kolkata, when I went there, at every 100 meters, I used to meet friends. Hi Joe, how are you? We met in Hyderabad 2016 when you got president. Hi Joe, how are you? How are your children? So these are superficial, relations. Okay, so you'll meet many. They are also important because they are the ones who give you this sense of belonging to the Indian Academy of Pediatrics and to the community. The most important thing is they are not the real social connections. The real social connections are the ones where, as I told you earlier, you remain close to them. You exchange your emotions. You discuss something with them. And, I will tell you, there are something, called as mirror neurons. I will just tell you what is this concept. There are mirror neurons. Suppose if I look at Dr. Vijay Kumar, look into his eyes, and then he looks at me, he will respond to my gestures. If I ask him, hi Dr. Vijay Kumar, how is last year doing? Oh, so he'll say yes, yes, Dr. Joe. So the question has stimulated something in his brain, and in the limbic system and in the parieto-frontal area, there are some mirror neurons. So when I ask something, it mirrors into the mind or the brain of the person in front, and then he responds. This mirroring is very important. So in social interactions, this is something very important. And I will tell you, when I go for a cup of coffee in Pune, there is a very famous place called Hotel Vaishali on Ferguson College Road. And every Sunday at around 10 in the morning, unless I am to meet my college friends. What is the reason? The reason is they are the only ones who will keep me on the ground. Okay, others will say, Joe, you are very great, you are very great. But my school friends, my college friends, they will keep me on the ground so that I don't start flying in the air. Okay, otherwise, Dr. Joke will have a high head and he will start flying up and feel that he is the big boss of the world. No. So remember, these social interactions also have this particular added advantage. Thank you.
So thank you so much. That's such a well taken point. Friends who keep you grounded are the real ones, and rest are all acquaintances. We could probably say that.
Yes.
So now we'll go to the next domain, sir. Technology and social media, which is
Okay.
very important in today's world.
Yeah.
Has social media strengthened or weakened the real human connections? At
See,
the moment,
the
also,
social.
we're all connected through that. But
Yeah, I know. So that's why it's a double-edged weapon. That's a double-edged weapon. So it will strengthen also. How it strengthens? See, my son is in New York. Okay, so I keep maintaining the relation, though the bond is weak through the internet or WhatsApp or video calls, etc. So with a distant family, it's a good way to talk to them. But then the erosion of the quality of the strong ties. Suppose on the day of Sankranti in my place, usually we give that tilgul, the sesame with jaggery, and we used to go to our teachers when we were children, face to face. We used to go to him, bow down, said namaste, and he also used to give us some small little sweets here and there. That was a face-to-face style. So that particular connection, the social connect was of great importance. But I agree to some extent about, I feel that, this digital fatigue, digital fatigue, and the shallowness of the relations, more of transactional relations. We simply transact, and people will send emojis, hi, hello, thumbs up, and all. So there is, something which doesn't appear to be very, very real. So there are two aspects, but to the greater extent, I feel that the social media have weakened the real human connections, except on some occasions which I told you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I would like to share a small anecdote over here of a mother
Yeah.
and daughter. The mother and daughter were connected over a video call for a very long time. The daughter was staying in a different place than the mother. And mother, every time she used to ask, will you come for Diwali? Will you come for Sankranti, Ugadi? And the daughter kept postponing because she was busy with other things. Her perspective was, I am seeing my mom every day in the video call. And finally, the mother stopped answering those video calls. And the daughter gets worried and she takes the next flight, comes to the mother's house. And the mother actually hugs her, feels really happy. So this is the importance of physical connections rather than social, because the daughter kept on thinking, I'm seeing my mom every day, she's fine, I don't have to go meet her physically. While the mother was missing the physical like touch or presence of the child.
Yeah.
So similar way, sir, like most of it you've already answered, but just for the sake of it, can online friendships be as meaningful as the face-to-face ones?
You're saying online friendships, huh?
Friendships.
Okay, online. Yeah. See, what you're asking is the meaningfulness of the relations. Meaningfulness. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So yeah. So let us see what is the functionality for many youth. The online interactions, they serve the same purpose as the offline ones. Basically, they share the updates, what's there in the college, which movie is running on in Inox, and to some extent they provide an emotional support. Okay, that's okay. And the most important thing is that to some extent they do keep the relations meaningful, but the research has consistently found that the face-to-face friendship has a higher level of depth, interdependence, and commitment. Okay, remember all these three are very important: the depth of relations, the interdependence, and the commitment. While online, the friendships can become comparable over time as simple message exchanges. They are simply exchanging messages, okay? And they lack the physical bonding that occurs through the real world experiences. And that's why I remember that individuals, particularly this is important, for people who have social anxiety. You must have seen so many who are afraid of coming into this society because of interpersonal fears. I know so many pediatricians, they are afraid of coming for a meeting, and these are the ones who keep finding online friendships, and for them, they're more comfortable because they feel safe and more in the control of their self presentation when they are online. There are not many, but one should understand that there are different aspects to this story. And that's why I personally feel that the online friendships are not that meaningful as compared to the face to face ones, except, for some reasons which I told you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. But maybe meeting them at least once in a while also will give some meaning to it, like you said,
Sure,
the depth
sure.
or it. So, sir, do you think this digital connection has changed how we communicate emotionally?
Yes. The constant connectivity has changed so many things. So many things. Okay. One most important is the loss of cues, cues, cues. The digital connect doesn't have any non-verbal cues. Now, for example, I will just show you. Suppose I'm speaking to Dr. Arakala Bhaskar, who is in the audience. Okay, and I will ask him, how are you, Dr. Arakala Bhaskar? How are you? So I am asking. There is a little bit of wrinkling on the face. My facial expressions have changed. Oh, is that so? He said, yes, yes. I was there in Kolkata recently. Wonderful. Yes. So I will smile. Okay, very good. I will nod my head. Where is that? Where is that in the social connect? That means your digital connect. That is not there. Number two, the empathy and the accurate emotional interpretation is also lacking in the digital connect. Okay. And many times, if I have to write something to, for example, Dr. Sanjay, and if I want to tell everything what I am doing today, what I will do is I will only present good things about me. Well, I did this, I got this award, now my students are studying here. But I will hide certain things. I will not present certain things. So there is pressure on my mind to present a perfect life on the digital connection. When I speak heart to heart with anyone, say Dr. Ravi Kumar, I speak to him. Oh, Ravi, my son did not do well this time. He wanted to do this, but he could not do that. So I'm more open when I do that face-to-face presentation, and emotionally, it's very important, that you are connected. Otherwise, as I told you, when I write something, it is the edited version of Pramod. So, I will edit my thoughts and then put it in the digital media. It's very important that you have taken up this point of social media. I will tell you that the reason why we are going ahead with this digital connect is the release of dopamine. See, if time permits, we will discuss more about these things. But then dopamine is a reward hormone. Whenever I look at a WhatsApp message, there is release of dopamine in the brain. This, again wants me to get more dopamine, and I start getting dopamine addicted. So even at 12:30 in the midnight, I will scroll the WhatsApp to get more dopamine. Continue scrolling every 10 minutes, 10 minutes till 1:30, 2 o'clock, 2:30, and my sleep will be delayed, resulting in the fact that I will get up late and the entire day will be lost. This happens with adolescents. So this dopamine addiction, which is related to the social media, is something very, very problematic. Okay, and that's why, of course, we see about discuss about this digital detox and so many things these days. That's a part, but the point is that the constant digital connection definitely has changed how we communicate emotionally. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Now let us look at the impact of all this on the mental health and well-being. How do social connections impact the mental health?
Okay. It's very, very important. As I told you that the emotions of a person are very, very important. I already told you that the social interaction is basically a buffer against the stress. See, there are certain hormones. I am glad that we have just discussed about dopamine. There are some other hormones. One of them is oxytocin. When you give a social interaction, okay, and so suppose I meet Sridhar and I hug him, then the hormone that is released is oxytocin. I told you dopamine. So when Sridhar says, "Oh, Dr. Joe, you got this Plotkin's award, wonderful." So that dopamine reward hormone is released. When I hug him, oxytocin is released. Okay, there is serotonin. Okay, when I listen to him calmly, when you are cool in the morning after getting up, when you are having a cup of tea or coffee with your wife or your partner, when you are cool and quiet, the hormone release is serotonin. Okay, and when in the garden you are walking with all your non-medico friends and exercising, the hormone released is beta endorphin. Okay, they are the ones which help you, keeping you stress free for all the 18 working hours. Very, very important. So basically, these hormones will keep you mentally fit for all those waking hours. And there is 24% reduction in the development of depression. See, so imagine that a pediatrician practices up to 50, 60 and remains lonely. He has not developed any social connection. What happens? He starts becoming lonely, starts going into depression, starts speaking less. There are some people who develop suicidal thoughts, some become over dependent on alcohol, and all these are the problems related to the mental health. Very important. And of course, if you have good social interaction, all these things they are totally away. And it is said that even Alzheimer's and dementia they develop, faster in those who do not have social connect. So keep speaking to your friends, start attending the medical meetings, go for the sports activities, and remember, very important is that something called as self-esteem. So particularly as I told you about the mirror neurons, when you speak to somebody else and when it tells something about you to you, then you feel valued and respected, and your self-esteem also increases. These are all, minor things related to the mental health, but I would say they are very important. So, these are all aspects of emotional health, like self-awareness and, things like that. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. So the better the social connection, the better the mental health.
Yes.
Yes. What happens to people when they lack meaningful interaction?
Oh, so if there is no social interaction,
social interaction. Like
yeah. If there is no social interaction, I just told you that they will start feeling lonely. It is said that remaining lonely in a day is equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. 15 cigarettes a day. Okay, loneliness. And remember, there is also a physiological impact. I'll tell you, chronic loneliness, chronically when a person remains lonely, this leads to rise in the cortisol levels, elevated serum stress hormones they increase, and this chronic inflammation weakens the immune system and increases the risk of cardiovascular disease. That's also another thing. Then there are behavioral shifts. For example, people lacking interaction, they spiral into wrong coping mechanisms. I will explain what I want to say. Suppose, let us take the example of a family, father, mother, and the son. The son is not doing well in the school, so the father scolds him, says, "You are not studying. What is this? You are not getting good grades." Now there is mother who is going to protect child from the father. Okay, so there is someone who is a rescuer. So the hero, suppose the child is the hero, the father is the villain, and mother is the rescuer. This is a typical drama triangle of our famous, Hollywood movies. Always, you go to any movie, there will be a hero, villain, and a rescuer. Okay, you know that. Now the point is, if there is no rescuer in the family, if mother doesn't rescue the child, what would happen? Father and mother on one side and the child on the other side. So lonely pediatrician on one side and no rescuer, no social interaction. The society, the friends, they are all acting as rescuers. If they are not present, this poor pediatrician will start finding rescue in alcohol and cigarettes and so many other things. You get the point? And that is exactly very important, that people lacking the interaction, they will spiral up. So he doesn't have any coping mechanism, and he will end up in, maybe substance abuse, sleep disturbances, social withdrawal, alcohol, cigarettes, and so on. And also it's known that, if there is no social interaction, sometimes there are also some neurological changes, and there are some structural and functional brain changes, of course, that apart. But these are the major problems related to lack of meaningful social interaction. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So social connections are the rescuers from mental health morbidity, we could say.
Yes.
So could you give some example for showing that social bonds can act as strong emotional for therapy for anybody?
Oh, sure. Very important. See, I will tell you an example. I came across, an adolescent, 15-year-old, and there was absolutely no social interaction. At the dinner time, the father, was always speaking on phone with, his business people. The mother was also working mother. She used to be tired, and he was, not at all involved in the interaction. This poor adolescent boy always wanted to speak something and inform parents, convey something to them. But the parents did not have time. No social interaction at all in the family. After 15 days of this chap trying to speak out but unable to speak out, he was found dead in the room committing suicide out of sheer depression and lack of emotional support. A glaring example. So, unless you have a social interaction, you won't know what is going on in the mind of the adolescent in the family, and you will realize it only if some mishap like this occurs. Very important. So, social interaction. So, please tell your parents who are busy, or in case if you are the parents who are very busy, please start at least spending 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes with your young adolescents or the family members so that you know what is there in the mind. So I just thought, just as you asked me some examples, I would share this. Okay, this is very important. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. That is actually most of the children are going through this. Very, very relevant.
It is important. And many times we are not mindful. So one has to be mindful. You have to be with the present. Otherwise, these many times, people who are lonely and do not interact, there are recurrent thoughts. And then, many times there is major depression. And then there are many factors which, hinder the interaction. Of course, one can also think of treatment on time. And that's why it is important that people get involved with some activity. And in case if a person is not of a type like who would directly go and socially interact, he can have interaction with people with common interests. For example, one could be having interest in painting. He can get involved in a painting class where all those who are interested in painting can come together. Not that you have to socially interact by going and saying hello, hi, how are you, and all. So there are different ways of interaction. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. When we had taken this session, physically during the AdolesCon, we had given one task like this. Sir. We tried to get all the pediatricians with similar interests, who have watched a movie the previous night or whoever likes music. So that forms some form of group.
Sure.
Now, what impacts that society and culture will have on the social connections. We'll just look at that, sir. How do the cultural backgrounds influence the way we build relationships?
Okay. See, cultural backgrounds could be either a Western culture or a, culture, say like Indian culture. Okay. I will tell you, the Western culture is more individualistic. Okay. And the communication style is individual. Okay. So they will communicate in a different manner. But most of the Asian countries, including India, and now I am a student of Spanish, so I know these Latin American countries and also African countries. They are the ones who have a collectivist culture. What do you mean by that? Let me tell you an example again. There is a child, in the family who is mentally challenged. Okay, mentally challenged. In our community, I'm sure you'll agree with me that entire family will look after that mentally challenged child. Okay, and he will never feel lonely, even though he is mentally challenged. So there is a lot of influence of the cultural backgrounds or the relationships, and in the collectivist societies like Asians and Latin American and African, the relationships always revolve around the extended family. Okay, decisions. The boy will say, "Oh, I love this girl," or the girl will say that, "Oh, I love this boy." Okay, then decisions related to the uh, healthcare for a child. So, it may involve multiple relatives, than just the parents. So, there is a difference in the cultural backgrounds. Of course, that is what I would say to your question related to the cultural backgrounds and the social interactions. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Modern lifestyle, it is filled with a lot of work pressure. There is migration, really fast paced. Is it harming the social bonds?
You're saying about the modern lifestyle, huh? Okay.
Yes.
So, See, let us try to understand that modern lifestyle has a lot of work pressure. And as I told you in the beginning, even the doctors, they are under high pressure environment and long working hours. Okay. So that can create a problem. What is the problem? See, I have seen so many full-time staff in my hospital, they start loving the place of work. Okay, so that is something a reversal of the role where the work feels more structured. They like the environment that you have to go at 9 o'clock, wait till 5 o'clock. It is a very structured environment and it's quite predictable than home. Okay, and that's why they start giving less quality time to the family and to the children, and there is family stress. Okay, so this is an impact of the modern lifestyle. Migration, for example, there are many IT sector fellows who migrate, and of course, migration will fragment the existing social network, and also there is fast paced urbanization. The perceived scarcity of the time in the urban environment leads to chronic stress. The urbanization is going on at such a rapid pace that there is chronic stress, and individuals, they continuously get overstimulated, and there are emotional problems. So I'm sure that the modern lifestyles have impacted the social bonds because of all these reasons which I just told you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, are the communities, do they still matter in an increasingly individualistic world?
Sorry, I did not get you what you said.
No, we have already been talking about the cultural backgrounds, work pressure. Do communities matter, sir, here? Because we are becoming more individualistic, like you said, the Western world. Do they matter here?
Sure. Community is extremely important. Because communities, they will give resilience and the support. Communities are the vital building blocks. Vital building blocks, because the entire social structure is built on the communities. So they will give emotional support. In case, if there is some social mishap, I remember during COVID times, someone in my neighborhood had a problem and the entire society had collected funds, for helping this particular chap. So there is resource sharing and collective efficacy that the individual effort cannot match. Okay, and I will say there are also health-related outcomes, as you told earlier about that Harvard study. So these strong social connections are linked to longer life and the lower risk of the heart disease and the improved mental health. So that Harvard study has proved beyond doubt the longevity of life and happiness are closely associated with your social relationships. So, do not stay at home. Come out in the morning, go for a nice walk, have a chit chat, have a nice cup of coffee, meet your friends at 10 o'clock in the morning every Sunday, go for the meetings, attend them, vent out what you want to say, and get the responses. So, remember to use these meetings and the social interactions as the buffers. That is, very important. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So with your permission, could I just allow 1 minute for my mentor who has inspired me towards lifestyle, taking up lifestyle as a coaching thing?
Sure. Of course.
Thank you, sir. I welcome Ram Narasimha Reddy, sir. Sir.
I hope our audience is not bored, huh? Okay.
That's why it's a little bit of sir will interact, get everybody thinking once again. So
they're actively listening, sir. Actively listening. There are many on YouTube also.
Yes.
He's not able to unmute himself.
Okay, no problem. Maybe.
Sir, I think they're all listening actively. They're also on YouTube. Go ahead, sir.
Continue.
Okay. That's great. Thank you.
With next, moving further, sir, let us look at the challenges and barriers what they pose. The biggest barriers that people face.
Barriers. Okay.
What are the biggest barriers people face when trying to form connections?
That means, see, what probably Ramya is trying to ask is what comes in the way of developing social interaction, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So the most important thing is the scarcity of time. Many adults, they view socializing as a luxury. I feel, "अरे उसमें क्या है? What is the need to go and have a social interaction? Let me stay at home and watch my Netflix." And so they don't know that it's an essential health behavior. Okay, and one should not squeeze it only after work and only after the family duties. No, you have to actively go out for social interaction. Okay, and there is a paradox of the digital connection. While technology gives 24/7 access, it replaces the emotional depth. I told you the depth is very important. The social connections, the social media, digital connections, they are shallow. So there is abundance, but it is, said the term used by the people in the digital world is shallow abundance. There is abundance, but it's shallow. Okay. Simply like those likes and emojis and others, they can lead to record high cases of urban loneliness. You will find that the connections, digital connections are plenty, but inside the mind, inside the mind, it is all loneliness despite of digital activity. Very important. And there are of course physical and structural barriers. For example, the places like small coffee shops which were there at the corners have disappeared, and the community hubs have disappeared. They have been replaced by Swiggy, and the gentleman at 2 in the morning brings something to eat like dosa or uttapa 2 in the morning, okay, by Swiggy. And as I told you, it doesn't have the flavor of the social interaction. It doesn't have the flavor of social interaction. So, what are the barriers? Basically, again, the digital connection and disappearance of the small little hubs. I remember when we were in the college, medical college, everywhere at the corner there were like small shops like Madras Cafe, or maybe in Hyderabad it could be your famous Irani tea
Kiranji.
or Usmania biscuits, or the cafe outside your Nilofer hospital. So these are small places where people would gather and have social interaction. Okay, but they are disappearing, and the orders are being taken by Swiggy and others, Zomato and others. So the point is, there are various factors which are acting as a barrier, and the life has also become very, very fast, and that is the paradox of urban loneliness. Shallow abundance, but urban loneliness. Thank you.
Very well summed up, sir. It's like shallow abundance and urban loneliness. That speaks it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how can introverts or socially anxious people build meaningful relations?
Yeah. I told you in part earlier that there are some people who are introverts. But remember, everyone has a weakness but also has a strength. An introvert could be the one who has deep thinking power, active listening power. He can also socially interact. He could behave like a non-judgmental listener, okay? And he can have a different role, but a defined role. For example, in a meeting of PATS, he could act as the photographer of the entire event. Okay. There is another one who doesn't like to talk and greet and be jubilant and have a lot of social interaction, but he could be the in charge of the snacks which are being served. Okay. So it is not that you have to only talk, but you have to participate. They could be very, very good listeners also. And one can always start. These introverts or those who are socially anxious, they can start with a small group of 3 or 4 people rather than large gatherings, so that they are not overstimulated. Because I know some people do not like to get overstimulated, and sometimes one can always start in a small little manner. For example, there is a cashier in the bank, so you can go and say, "Hi, hello, how are you? Good morning." Okay, so you can always start by complimenting a cashier or asking a stranger for a time. So this is only to desensitize that gentleman from the fear of judgment and all. Okay, and of course he can prioritize the interest. For example, as I told you earlier, he could join a hobby class like painting, and this allows the natural conversation where the activity and not the person is the primary focus. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Point really taken well. So why is it sometimes very difficult to reconnect than make newer connections? Like somebody, most of the times happens with parents that the son doesn't want to talk to the father, or like going back to somebody elder in the family.
Yeah. Sometimes it happens that reconnecting becomes difficult. For example, imagine recently I told you, a get together of our batchmates whom we met in 1976, almost 50 years back. Okay, there is something called as a stranger effect. What is the stranger effect? What happens is that over time, an old friend also can start feel like a stranger because you have not met him. You have not met him for so many years, and the psychological barriers, basically, to reach out to him, they are the ones which are responsible. Another thing is that there is little bit of a guilt, what you could say, the prolonged silence, which will breed the sense of guilt or failure, making people worry that reaching out will be awkward. They feel awkward in reaching out. And sometimes, we no longer, match or think that we match with the person we know. So earlier I used to match. So earlier he was a friend because we were studying together. We were in first MBBS, second MBBS, third MBBS. So we used to match with each other. But now we don't match with each other. My friend has started practice in some remote rural area. He is a general physician, and I am a big boss. I am a pediatrician practicing in a major metro. So the personalities get frozen. Okay, so that freezing of the identities, which is unfortunate, also occurs. So these are various things, and of course, many times, people, they lose their what you say, mental energy to initiate the contact. After 50 years, who has all the time in the world to initiate the contact again? So that is what happens. So various factors play a role when it comes to making, what you say, rather reconnection. So to make new friends is easier. Today I meet 10, 15 people in a group. Yes, hi, hello, Dr. Job, how are you? Nice, I am an income tax commissioner. Yeah, that reminds me. If your friend goes to a position which is very awkward for you, for example, he is the income tax commissioner, I don't think anybody of us would like to make friends with him. And then, of course, there are some positions where, always some awkwardness. So what I'm trying to say is there are various factors. As the age advances, as I told you, either there could be freezing of the personality, or there could be a sense of guilt, or some of these factors which I just told you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. So sometimes it's always like who is going to make the first move also that matters.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yes, sir. So what's one a little bit personal, if you don't mind, and anybody in the audience can also add to it, I think. One relationship you wish you had invested more time in, if you don't mind.
See, I will tell you, rather than answering your question about one relationship where I would have liked to invest more, I will tell you what has helped me in investing in a property. I will tell you, my father was a lawyer, and in the morning between 9 to 12, he used to have all the clients sitting in front of him. He was a criminal lawyer as well as a civil lawyer. So there were all sorts of people, the murderers, the robbers, the civil people, the tenants, and all sorts of people. So as a small little child and as a college student, I used to observe him. Okay. He had such a tremendous social interaction with them that helped me develop the vision of identifying the person in front of me. Okay. So he used to tell me, Pramod, I am trying to teach you not by words but by observation. Observe how I am interacting. So he could interact well even with the murderer. He used to, interact very well, even with a thorough gentleman. And as I grew up, I used to go to the court also with him, and I used to observe him as to how he used to interact with the other lawyers, the judge in the bench, and others. So, what I'm trying to say is, in my personal life, the social interaction has been basically because I identify or I learned identifying the person in front of me. So I know how he behaves. This helped me a lot, by the way, when I was the president of IAP, when all the executive board members were in front. So I could know as to how to handle individually. That's apart. The point is, this social interaction helped me in my life. So I know, who is a cunning fellow, who is a deceiver, who is a true gentleman, and who is the one with whom I can have relations without any problem. So I would say that this is something very, very important. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
Extremely sorry the interrupting the flow. There are some questions in the chat box. Who will take, Dr. Ramya or Pawan?
Yeah, sure. Maybe Ramya, if you have any other questions, we can quickly finish and then we can go to the questions. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Would you give some? We really had a wonderful conversation. Before we close, sir, what carry-home messages you would like to give, so that we can just give one task also at the end of it and wrap it up.
Okay, certainly. Number one, first get on to the level of the person who is in front of you. Remove your white coat. The white coat is the big barrier. Okay, remove that. The multidisciplinary staff which is present and the co-workers in the hospital, make friends with them. Start celebrating the happy birthday of the staff members in the hospital. Cut the cake on the birthday of the staff members. Give the remaining cake to the family members. Don't take it back to your house. In case if your staff nurse wants a leave for 2-3 days, 4-5 days, grant it. But this is a part of social interaction. Give them free influenza shots every year, so that they are protected. All these are very, 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 very important. There is a way to build these social relationships, and I will tell you, social health should be taken up as a public health priority, because as earlier you said, listening is most important. I will say the word listen has 6 alphabets, LIFTEN. If you reshuffle the alphabets, a new word comes, and that is SILENT. That is silent. So if you are silent at the back of the mind, if you are non-judgmental, and if you listen, a lot of social interaction can also occur. I will just tell you, one of my cardiologist friend, very busy. He came home a few days back at night at 10 o'clock, and the child offered him 1,000 rupees. The father asked him, the cardiologist asked him, why do you give me 1,000 rupees? He said, Dad, you charge 1,000 rupees to your patients and speak to them for half an hour. But you do not have 5 minutes to talk to me. Today I am giving you 1,000 rupees. So take 1,000 rupees and speak to me for half an hour. This literally brought tears to my eyes. Where is the social interaction in the medical community? This should not happen to our colleagues. And that's why I congratulate Team PATS for taking up this particular project, beginning with this social interaction. Another friend's son, he said, my dad gives me ice cream, he gives me everything in the evening, but he doesn't give me time. He keeps speaking with his colleagues and others on phone. Even when they are on the outing, even if we go to the beach of Goa, my father doesn't speak to me, no social interaction. This should not happen. And that's why there are many, many other things related to this, but I'm glad that Dr. Ramya, you have brought out so many important points related to this topic that, I'm sure that our colleagues will take the hint from what we have said. And now we can go ahead with the answers to the questions which our listeners have. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I think this answers like if the workplace relations are not social. This was the question, sir. But like how you said, if you're able to celebrate their birthdays, that definitely takes it to the next level rather than just having it to the rounds or anything. We can make it more social.
Sure.
Dr. Chakradhar, sir. Dr. Ramya, please. Sorry, interrupt you. Dr. Chakradhar, sir. Sir, Dr. Chakradhar, who has been advisor, and for the last 2 weeks, he has been interacting how to plan this program. Chakradhar, sir. Apollo Chakradhar, sir, please. Yes, sir. Unmute Jain, sir. Pavan. Dr. Pavan? Dr. Pavan? Madam, while the technical thing goes, please continue, madam. Continue.
Sir, sir. So before we wrap up the talk show, sir, one task actually, from whatever sir has been speaking, I just from the things, one task or from today, after we finish this session, we should all be able to practice that is active listening. Try to get like eye to eye contact with your spouse whenever they are trying to tell something, communicate something, be active listeners, maintain that eye to eye contact. Let us not have the cell phone around, or let us not turn the TV on, so that it becomes more meaningful. And sir has also told about the cues, so we'll try to do this with, to start with one relation, that is the spouse, and maybe we could take it down to the other relations, friends and extended family.
Yeah.
Is that okay, sir?
Please.
Pramod sir?
Hello.
Sir,
Yes, yes.
sir.
Yes, yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Dr. Chakradhar, sir, please.
Okay. The discussion is very interesting, and you have taken the very interesting topic. Actually, the human relationships itself is a very complicated one. Actually, that depends upon the cultural, social, economical, political, and even nutritional, philosophical, and spiritual background of a person. Actually, it's not so easy. And in this Kali Yuga, actually, we are not living in Treta Yuga or in Dwapara Yuga. Yes, actually, we are living in Kali Yuga. It's a very complicated society. In this society, we have to maintain the human relationships with all the personalities which we come across in our day-to-day life and even our day-to-day practice also. So actually, the relationships with to become a perfect pediatrician or to become a perfect person in the society, we have to maintain the relations with all the sections in the society, especially the doctor with attenders and doctor with relatives, and doctor to doctor relations. Suppose if we are referring to a doctor, or we are dealing with a junior, or we are dealing with a nursing staff, or we are dealing with a paramedical staff, or when we are dealing with the social sections, and when we are dealing with ourselves also. See, when we are dealing with ourselves, that is emotional quotient will come into the consideration. Actually, we should how to maintain all these relationships is a very important one. And in this relationships, actually the ego factor, mainly the ego factor will come into will play a very important role. And the smooth relations with the patients and patient attendants and parents, these are all the points to be considered.
Sure, that's great. And I will tell you, there are different dimensions of the personality of a person, including a pediatrician. So the intelligence is not only that we are academically good, but there is interpersonal intelligence, there is intrapersonal intelligence. So person who has interpersonal intelligence, he is a good social interactor. The one who has intrapersonal intelligence, he is a spiritual person. There are people who have mathematical intelligence. They can look after the accounts in the hospital. There are some who have musical intelligence. There are some who have spatial intelligence. So many. So, what I like about this program is that the interpersonal relations it reflects the interpersonal intelligence of a person. And there are 12 different intelligences described by Howard Gardner. And I'm glad that this particular project will continue for the entire year. And I must say that just imagine, for example, tomorrow, if you are not in this world for some reason, unfortunately, whom will the people remember? The people will not remember the person who is the richest person. They will remember the person who always greeted them with a smiling face, who spoke to them well, who gave them the time, who gave medicines, from the stock of the samples that we have, who made their life easier. So I always say that you do not want to die as the richest person in the graveyard. If you take yourself totally out of the society, remain alone, continue to practice without social interaction. Yes, it is possible, but then you will die as the richest person in the graveyard. But you will not die as the person with great social interactions. You will not die as a lovable person, and people may not remember you. That is what our colleagues should remember. Thank you.
Yeah, Dr. Ramya and Dr. Jog sir, I thought it is as expected with Jog sir, and I think there are many sessions now for Dr. Pavan and me and others how to go about the sessions, future sessions without overlapping. I thought we have subject experts for that, and then Dr. Ramya, thank you very much. Dr. Jog sir, with a 4 days, 5 days notice, I know how the session has gone. Thank you, Chakradhar sir. It's not this thing. There are, I think, Dr. Ravi Kumar sir. Ravi Kumar sir. Please unmute sir. Any comment? I think Dr. Ramya will come. Sir, any comment? There are here. I think the questions are well answered.
Sir, I think there is an echo again.
Thank you very much. I think over to Ramya again. Ravi Kumar sir.
Echo is taking that everybody is echoing with the sentiments of what we discussed.
Thank you, Dr. Ramya and Dr. Pramod Jog sir. Today you have brought us to very important personality development, and we are all benefited with your interaction and discussion. When it comes to social interactions, two major negative influences all of us have to guard and avoid in interpersonal relation. One is criticizing the personality rather than the act. We have to avoid. Then, especially in the familial relation, contempt is a major negative influence. We should never show contempt, whether in the workplace or in the family relation to other person. And we should not be defensive. We should be prepared to take our responsibilities, listen to our partners, and we should avoid stonewalling. So these 4 negative things, if we can avoid, we will have good relations. Thank you, Pramod Jogsi and Dr. Ramyaji.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So there's one question. Role of money and business sabotages in the human relationship.
Pramod sir?
Yeah.
There's a question from Ramya.
See, the most important thing is that it all depends on the prioritization in the life. If you have academics as the priority, social interaction as the priority, then probably money won't be that important or a hurdle in the development of social interaction. It all depends on your personality, your upbringing. And after today's program, I am sure that money won't be a hurdle in the development of social interactions. I spoke slowly because there is a lot of echoing. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Pawan, sir?
Vijay sir?
We are in Salman.
We are in
Raman
Salman.
is not in the TV.
Oh. Right, I think I think ఇప్పుడు సార్ కంక్లూడ్ చేసేయండి పవన్. హలో డాక్టర్ పవన్
రమ్య
మ్యామ్
చెప్పేసేయండి ఇంకొకసారి.
Sir?
Maybe
No, because
lot of echo around. So it's difficult.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We are able to hear, sir. Ram Narasimhareddy, sir. Go ahead, sir.
మాట్లాడండి, అన్మ్యూట్ అయ్యి మాట్లాడండి. రామనాథ్ రెడ్డి గారు అన్మ్యూట్ అయ్యి మాట్లాడండి. సార్ అన్మ్యూట్, మీ సైడ్ నుంచి అన్మ్యూట్. హలో సార్, అన్మ్యూట్ గా అండి. రామనాథ్ రెడ్డి సార్, ప్లీజ్ అన్మ్యూట్. రామనాథ్ రెడ్డి సార్ అన్మ్యూట్.
Unmute. Hello. Are you able to hear?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Continue.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Very nice, Dr. Pramod. Hello. How
Yes.
are you? See,
I'm
before
fine.
having good relation with everybody, you should have good relation with yourself.
Yes,
First of all,
100%.
good relation should start with self.
100%. So that will
Next
come
with
when
your
you are. Yes, you're right. You're right. When you are healthy.
Then starts with your family, friends, whoever it may be on your side. When you are in bus stand, somebody standing beside you, if you smile at him, if you talk to him. The relation should be there everywhere, wherever you go. So
Yes.
that relation should start first with yourself. If you are
Yes.
thinking that you are good, you will be good. Majority people think that I am not good, I am a useless fellow. Then you yourself are thinking you are a useless fellow. You cannot speak, you cannot communicate. Then what is the use? So you should, as you told, that say cow's tail, tip factors like that. Your courage, confidence, opportunity, strength. Wherever there is opportunity, there you speak. You show your strength. All things you should follow. Anyhow, very nice. Ultimately, the final word I want to say, you should have good relation with yourself first. Whoever comes surrounding you, parent, patients, once you enter into nursing home, good morning, sister, good morning, nurse, everybody, hello. If somebody starts you from right side, raise your right hand. If somebody from the left hand, he says, raise left hand, hello, good morning. So this should be the good relation forever. Thank you very much for giving opportunity. You have a good day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yes. Dr. Ramya, please conclude.
Sir,
Dr. Ramya, conclude.
sir.
And
Like I've already told about the task, and Pawan sir has posted it in the chat box also, sir. I just want to tell it once again. So after the session, we request you all to have one meaningful relation. To start with the spouse, give your undivided time for as small as 5 minutes a day, no problem. To start with, when you're talking to them, just talk to them, not anybody else. Or there is a lot of mind chatter, we all know. There is a lot of noise that keeps happening in the mind, like what this task I have next, that patient might call me, and all those things. But let them all be rested for some time, and then you spend some time with the spouse. So this is the thing, sir. Thank you all. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
And then one last tip is, in case if there are small children in the family who are addicted to the mobile phones, usually one of my friends, what he does is he collects the mobile phone of the father, mother, and all the children, puts them on the table, puts a bed sheet on the mobile phones and tells that the mobile phones have gone to bed and now we will also go to bed. Okay, so they will put off and then have a chit chat with the TV off, the mobile off. Then they will have their dinner and they will have nice chit chat and a social interaction. So some of our listeners can follow this trick. Of course, our children are wise enough to understand the trick when they grow up, but when they are small, you can follow this. That the mobile phones have gone to bed, and now let us have the nice chit chat and the dinner. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. There is a WhatsApp group that is alive. For the next session, topic and speakers would be announced. And please send your questions. And I thought it was such a wonderful session. No more words. Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Shall we log off? Yeah.
Huh.
Or yeah, anyone else who wants to speak, or if there is something official, please let me know so that I will wait. Otherwise, I can log off. No problem.
Pavan, vote of thanks, Chapan. Pavan, Dr. Pavan, propose vote of thanks. Madam,
sir.
Madam,
okay.
Dr. Pavan,
Yeah.
propose vote of thanks. Is there anything you please tell? And then, yes.
Cheptunaru, sir.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Sir, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Humble salutations to Pramod Jog sir and Ramya ma'am. You have rocked. This is what everybody was looking for. Lot of for you both, Pramod Jog sir and Ramya ma'am. You have made the show a great talk show today, and nothing like that. This platform is going to stay where we all can support each other. What works, each one of us can share in the group, and we can learn from each other, and we can better. Together we can, the 2027, we should all enter together as a new version of ourselves, the best version in all the 12 dimensions of life. So that is what, and yeah, as rightly said, the relationship with me starts first, and then with us, and then with the God, the Creator. So with that, we are ready, sir. You have rightly pointed out that, and that is well taken. And also my humble salutations to Dr. Ravikumar sir, who is considered as a legendary pediatrician. We all admire him. He is now serving at Annamalai Ramana Maharshi Ashram at Thiruvananthapuram. So hats off to you, sir, for joining from that such a distance and blessing. I'm in the Shantivanam spiritual retreat. So here the signals are not very great.
No.
So we are concluding the session now. Hello?
Yes.
We'll discuss more in the WhatsApp group, sir. We will be active in the WhatsApp group.
Right. Thanks, sir.
Yeah. Over to President, sir, for final remarks and closure.
Yeah, no remarks. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much, Pramod sir and Dr. Ramya madam. I thought I know you for so many years, but then the way you moderated, I thought you need a special praise. Jokes are we know for decades, and I know there are so many fans of Ravi Kumar sir who have joined into this. Ramnath Reddy sir, I know. I spent about 3 minutes. How you can be unmuted? I was with the technical people very much, and so that this is such a session. Chakradhar sir again, and each and everyone who have joined this program. Definitely, we will continue to have such a these sessions. Continue to join. That's it. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Okay. Bye.
Sir,
so let us go for lunch and have a nice social interaction. Yes. Okay. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Bye, Dr. Ramya. Bye. Congratulations, Dr. Pavan Kumar and your team. And bye, Dr. Vijay Kumar.
Yes,
bye.
sir. Yes.
I can see so many of my friends in the audience, so I can interact with you personally later on. Thank you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you a lot.